Have you ever been in a meeting where everyone nodded? Everyone said, yes, we agree, and then nothing happened. No execution, no movement, no results. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Agreement is one of the biggest reasons execution fails in organizations. Yes, agreement. And in this video, I'm going to show you why agreement creates false confidence. Why alignment, not agreement, is what actually drives execution. And how you can fix this in your organization immediately. Because once you see this, you'll never run the meetings in your organization the same way. You will not. For over 20 years, working across organizations from humanitarian setups to corporate environments, I kept seeing the same pattern. Leadership teams would meet, they would discuss strategy, they would refine ideas, and then at the end, someone would say, so are we all aligned? And everyone would say, yes. But what actually they meant was, we agree. And those are not the same thing. They are not. They're actually very different. Let me give you a simple analogy. Think about a football team. At halftime, the coach says, we need to win this game. Every player agrees. No one actually says, actually, I would rather we lose. No one says that. Everyone agrees. But does that mean they are aligned? No. Because alignment is not about what you say yes to. No. It's about how you think, decide, and act together on the field. That is what alignment is all about. Let me break this down in clear form. Agreement is surface level. It is verbal. It is momentary. It is comfortable. Alignment is deep. It's cognitive. It's operational. And it's also structural. Agreement says, I'm okay with this. Alignment says, I understand this the same way you do. I will act on it consistently, and I know exactly what my role is. That is what alignment is. That is what alignment entails. And here is where it gets dangerous. Because most leaders think that they have alignment when all they have is agreement. Let me show you how that plays out. I once worked with an organization where leadership had a very clear priority. And this was the priority. We need to improve performance. Everyone agreed. Everyone said yes. The HR team agreed. The operations team agreed. The leadership team agreed. But when we looked deeper, each person had a completely different interpretation. One leader thought it meant cutting costs. Another thought it meant increasing output. Another thought it meant improving culture. So what happened? Everyone moved, but in different directions. And from the outside, it looked like confusion, slow execution, frustration. But the real problem, they had agreement, not alignment. The real problem was that they had agreement, but not alignment. Here is what most leaders don't realize. Execution doesn't break at the point of action. It breaks at the point of interpretation. Let's say that again. Execution does not break when people start working. It doesn't. It breaks when people interpret the same idea differently. An agreement hides that problem because agreement makes you feel like, one, you're on the same page. You're definitely on the same page, but you're not. You're just in the same meeting. You're not on the same page, you're simply in the same meeting. Think about the human body. You have the brain, you have your heart, you have your hands, you have your legs. Each part has a different function. Now, imagine this. The brain says, run. The leg interprets this as walk. The hand interprets it as rest. The heart interprets it as panic. That body will not function. That is misalignment. And that's exactly what happens in organizations. That is misalignment, and that's exactly what happens in organizations. Alignment means leaders interpret priorities the same way. Decisions follow a shared logic. Ownership is clear. Actions are consistent. It creates something powerful. And this is predictable execution, not forced execution, not monitored execution, predictable execution. And here is the unconventional truth. You don't need more agreement in your organization. No, you have enough of that. You need, one, fewer assumptions. Two, deeper clarity. Three, structured alignment. Because agreement is easy, but alignment is work. Agreement happens in meetings. Alignment is built into how the organization thinks. Alignment is built into how the organization thinks. Let me give you something practical you can use immediately in your organization. Next time you are in a meeting, instead of asking, do you all agree? Ask this. One, what does this mean to you? Two, what does success look like? Three, what actions will you take? Four, what decisions can you make without approval. And then watch carefully. If the answers are different, you don't have alignment. Not yet. You don't have alignment. Not yet. This is exactly why I developed the organizational cognitive alignment model. Because alignment is not about communication. Alignment is about how people think together inside the organization. And unless that is aligned, execution will always break. Execution will always break. So the next time you hear people say we all agree, pause and ask yourself, are we actually aligned? Are we? Because agreement feels good. It does. But alignment is what gets results. If this shifted how you think about leadership and execution, subscribe for more insights on how to eliminate execution breakdown in your organization. And in the next video, I'll show you why clarity and not motivation is the real driver of performance.